To satisfy his twisted hobby, the man had created a pair of gloves with strange magical power. Just by lightly touching a girl's cheek, she would instantly turn into a cold statue. Day after day, the entire island was already filled with his artworks. When the sailor Simbad arrived on this island, he was immediately drawn to the beautiful statues scattered along the coast. Each one was incredibly lifelike. Even the hair and the folds of their dresses were carved with exquisite detail. But strangely, every statue's face was frozen with an expression of terror and despair, as if their lives had been trapped forever in their most fearful moment. While everyone was admiring the statues, a man silently appeared behind them. He was the master of this island, Frank, and also the creator of these statues. Frank proudly said that every piece on the island was made by his own hands. He then warmly invited everyone to visit his castle, but his overly eager attitude made people feel a strange sense of unease. Simbad could not refuse, and followed him into the castle, but he did not know that he was already stepping into a trap. Soon they entered the castle. It was lavishly decorated, and there were many brightly colored parrots kept around. Frank smiled and introduced that these two were part of his collection. Simbad just nodded casually, not taking the words seriously. Little did he know that these seemingly ordinary parrots would later nearly cost him his life. After Frank left for a while, Simbad began to discuss the strange things about the island with his companions. But his companions thought he was being overly suspicious, believing he was just imagining things. They then went back to their rooms to rest. While Anna was enjoying a hot bath, Simbad could not shake his unease and wandered through the castle alone. Before long he felt like someone was following him. Simbad turned sharply and pulled the person hiding in the shadows out. The man quickly explained that he was not following them, but wanted to secretly warn them to leave this place immediately, because the current island master was not the real owner at all. He was originally just an alchemist, and later used dark magic to usurp the island master's identity and all his wealth. Now the entire island had fallen under his control. Seeing Simbad half skeptical, the man said, "If you do not believe me, go to the cave by the sea, and all the truth will be revealed there." But as soon as he finished speaking, the man's gaze suddenly fell on the windowsill. A parrot was silently staring at the two of them. His expression instantly changed without a word of explanation. He turned and fled in panic. This scene made Simbad even more confused. He decided to wait and see for now, and secretly observe this mysterious island master. Soon it was time for the dinner banquet. Everyone was preparing to attend. As they passed through the corridor, Simbad noticed that both sides of the hallway were also lined with various statues. He could not help but reach out and touch one. But this touch left Simbad stunned. There were no tool marks on the surface of the statues at all, as if they had been born that way naturally. Just as he was about to examine more closely, the island master suddenly reached out and stopped him, as if he did not want others touching his works. This unusual behavior only made Simbad more certain that this island master was hiding a secret that could not be told. After the banquet ended, Simbad still could not shake his unease about those strange statues. Late at night, he secretly slipped into that corridor, planning to investigate further, but just then, a faint moaning sound suddenly came from somewhere. Simbad followed the sound, eventually arriving at a locked, mysterious room. But the moment he pushed open the door, the sight before him left him frozen in place. The man who had warned him to leave the island during the day had now turned into a cold statue. Simbad finally realized that the man had not lied to him, but before he could gather his thoughts, footsteps suddenly sounded outside the door. Frank was heading this way. In desperation, Simbad could only sneak into a hidden passage inside the fireplace, just barely escaping. After returning to his room, Simbad immediately told Anna what he had discovered, but Anna refused to believe him. In her eyes, the gentle and refined island master did not seem like a bad person, and would never do something so cruel. Seeing that she still would not believe him, Simbad changed his plan. He told Anna to find a way to stall the island master, while he took the crew to the seaside cave to find evidence. But they had no idea that the two seemingly ordinary parrots beside them had heard every word of their plan. Completely unaware, Simbad led the crew and found the seaside cave. At first they searched for a long time, but found nothing. Just as they were about to give up, Simbad accidentally triggered a mechanism on the wall. A hidden stone door slowly opened, revealing a secret room that had been sealed for years, and the sight before them left everyone stunned. The original island master and an entire army had all been turned into cold statues, trapped forever in this dark and sunless secret room. Only at that moment did Simbad finally confirm that everything the man had said during the day was true. He also suddenly remembered that Anna, who was still in the castle, was in danger. Everyone immediately turned around and ran back toward the castle as fast as they could. Meanwhile, Frank had completely torn off his mask of hypocrisy. He slowly reached his hands into the flames. After a moment, a strange magical glove slowly took shape. Then he walked over to Anna and gently stroked her cheek. In an instant, she rapidly turned to stone at a visible speed, finally becoming a cold statue. Looking at his latest completed work, the island master smiled with satisfaction, then turned and walked away. But Simbad was ultimately too late. When he arrived, Anna had already become a statue. This filled Simbad with grief and anger. He turned his sorrow into strength, vowing to avenge Anna. Then Frank suddenly appeared, wearing that magical glove and reaching straight for Simbad. But Simbad was quick, and narrowly escaped from his grasp again and again. Repeated failures made the island master more and more impatient. He kept speeding up, chasing relentlessly, finally cornering Simbad at the end of the castle. With no way out, Simbad used all his strength to break open the door. But behind the door was not an escape. It was a suspended balcony, with a bottomless abyss below. With nowhere left to retreat, Simbad pulled out a flagpole and used it as a weapon, ready to fight Frank to the death. At the critical moment, the crew arrived just in time, instantly diverting the island master's attention. Simbad seized this one chance, rushed forward, and pushed the island master off the balcony. At the last moment, the island master clung to the railing, begging Simbad to save him, claiming that if he let him go he would immediately lift the curse from Anna. But just as Simbad reached out, the island master tried to sneak attack him. Luckily, Simbad was prepared. He grabbed the island master's wrist, and pressed the gloved hand against Frank's own forehead. In an instant, the dark magic backfired. Frank turned into a stone statue on the spot, then lost his support, and fell from the cliff, shattering into pieces with a loud crash. The moment he died, the power sustaining the glove also faded. Those who had been turned into statues began to regain their color, bit by bit, and finally all came back to life. The cursed island finally welcomed its long-lost freedom. Frank had created countless statues with his own hands, but in the end he became one of them. Sometimes what is truly terrifying is never dark magic, but a person's insatiable greed. When art becomes possession, when obsession turns into madness, even the most beautiful works can never cover up the ugliness of human nature.